Thank you, Chair Murray, and let me start by thanking you and Vice Chair Collins for all your efforts to bring us together to achieve bipartisan products that can move forward. I also just want to thank Senator Hagerty, the ranking member, for his work and efforts on the subcommittee. We've had hearings, as other committees have, and we've worked together, as have our teams. And I do want to thank the members of our teams as well, the staff who put so many hours, as we know, into this effort. Jen Becker, Diana Hamilton, Maddie Dunn, Maria Calderon, Peyton Thomas, Dan Brandt, Winnie Chang, and from my personal office, Sarah Shenning and Deb Haney. I just want to thank all of them for their efforts. And I'm going to be pretty brief because I know it's been a lot of bills that we've already considered. So the FISG subcommittee has jurisdiction over a large array of federal agencies, maybe more agencies than any other subcommittee. They span from the Department of Treasury to the federal judiciary to Small Business Administration. And the bill today is the bipartisan product of our discussions. Just to give you an idea of some of the essential agencies that we finance here, FinCEN, who's been working on those beneficial ownership implementation provisions, cracking down on bad actors in the international financial system like Russian oligarchs and other kleptocrats. The Office of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence at the Department of Treasury. We need to make sure they have the resources they need to protect Americans' security. The CDFI, the Community Development and Financial Institutions programs, we provided $354 million in those programs that provide important credit and financial services to underserved markets. At the SBA, the Entrepreneurial Development Programs, $330 million for those, as well as the other SBA programs. We also funded, importantly, many of the oversight efforts to continue to make sure that anybody who committed fraud with the pandemic relief programs, that we track them down, as well as any fraud through SBA loans. So it's a mix of very important provisions. I just want to also mention some of the legacy riders, one that's become especially important these days, and it relates to ensuring that the Office of National Drug Control Policy, the director of that office, has the authority to withhold funding from the World Anti-Doping Agency. For those of you who've been closely following the Olympics, you know that in the last Summer Olympics, there was a big scandal. A number of Chinese swimmers tested positive for doping, but the World Anti-Doping Agency kept this quiet. It did not deal with it in a transparent manner. So we want to make sure that the United States, our key person there, our point person, clearly has the authority to withhold American funding until we're satisfied that athletes are competing on a fair playing field. Not just American athletes, but athletes from around the world. That's been a provision that we added in the committee a number of years ago. We've kept it. I will point out to my colleagues that there are a number of legacy riders in this particular subcommittee that I strongly oppose. I would like to get rid of them. There are all sorts of restrictions placed on the District of Columbia, for example. I don't think it's Congress's business to get into, how they regulate certain areas. That said, in the interests of moving forward, we have not tried to strip those provisions from this bill because they're legacy riders. One amendment that I will offer and withdraw is similar to what I did last year, which relates to the courts, because I believe that we need an enforceable code of ethics at the Supreme Court. I think recent events have shown why that's so important. I think this should be a nonpartisan issue. And so like last year, I will offer but withdraw an amendment that requires the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, to have an enforceable ethics policy. But because we did not get bipartisan agreement on that wording, I'm not going to insist on a vote. So let me close there and again thank all the members of our subcommittee who participated and all the members of the full committee who've offered amendments in this process that are included, the ones that are included in the manager's amendment.